Hey guys, Nakama here, and I haven't been posting for like 30 or so days on my main YouTube channel, and there's a reason for that. The reason is this game, cause I mean, look at this. I pressed about, and this game was written by Nakama the Witnesser. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on this game, and currently this game is downloadable at nowhere, simply because I haven't exported this game yet. I think there's definitely I need to check for to whether to see it has any bugs, but I mean I can just post the beta version, the first ever version, and you guys can play it and test it out. But before that, I want to make a gameplay video, me just showing you guys, explaining how things are currently, and just show the first hour or so gameplay footage. And if you like I said, I pressed the above button, and as you can see, there are a lot of credits going on here. For example, I used Variable Lab and Art Breeder to make this character images. I mean, they're not exactly sprites, to be fair. And Zodiac Trail and Rasputin's music has been used a lot. And this one's a lie. I actually tested out the music today, and turns out their music is royalty free, but not actually royalty free. Turns out if you use it on your YouTube channel, your YouTube videos get demonetized, which is really fucking awful. And why will these so-called royalty-free artists keep doing that? I have no idea. But generally, regardless of some technical difficulties and a lot of learning curve, I managed to make this game. And despite how it looks, this is actually not a horror game. This is a detective game, but sometimes, horror and detective genre, they kind of go hand to hand. But yeah, despite the gruesome symbolism here, this game doesn't have a lot of bloodshed and gruesome bloody scenes, mainly because I don't have an artist, so there's nobody to draw it for me, just descriptions. And secondly, well, this is mostly a detective game, not focused on the horror aspect unless it's just happens. But despite that, this game definitely delves into some heavy topics, as expected of a detective visual novel. So without further ado, let's play the game. Pretty obvious stuff. And first of all, you have these two buttons, true files, there's nothing in it, alibis. But as the story progresses, you get more files and evidence to look at, which is really fucking cool. It took me, I think I spent an entire day trying to learn how screens work, and the next day making these true files and alibis. So yeah. It was a cool night of summer of June 12th, Sunday, 3 a.m. The full moon loomed over the dark mansion. The wind gently caressed the trees inside the garden. Outside of the mansion were police cars and their sirens lit in red and blue. Soon a small car drove fast from the corner and stopped abruptly in front of the mansion. The door of the car swung open and the fire detectives emerged. Clancy, the head detective, was the first to exit. Again, some nice background sound there, and afterwards, Helen, the novice female detective, the mischievous physician, the stinky-tongued Galtimer, exited the car. And finally, the serious Salim as well. Clancy showed his badge to the cops and pressed on into the mansion. The other four followed him. Clancy looked at the woman who sat miserably at the bottom of the staircase. She was clutching her arms in vain. Is that the woman who called us? Yes, her name is Marianne, sir. Helen, the only female and the youngest of the 5 detectives, rushed to Marianne's side. Are you okay? Please don't feel depressed. We'll find whoever did this to your husband. Helen gently held Marianne's hand and smiled reassuringly, but the woman pulled her hands away. What will that bring to me? He is gone. Forever. He was just laughing, talking, playing, just a few hours ago. And now he's replaced by that thing on the bed. It's disgusting, horrible. Helen nodded. I know that a dead body looks disgusting. I have seen it multiple times. But I think those who have taken a person's life are the truly disgusting one. yeah, that was the running sound effect. If you managed to hear that, I think the problem with that running sound effect was the fact that I used one running sound effect and I copied it, cut it into multiple pieces and put it together, and then posted those onto one another to make it seem like a lot of people are running up the stairs. But it just sounds a bit weird. It just sounds like a horse galloping or something. It sounds a bit robotic, I'll say. Saying that to her, Helen rushed upstairs. The 4 cops followed Helen. The 5 detectives soon reached the bedroom. On the bed was a man whose chest was bloodied. A black shaft was sticking out of the man's body. Again, the great thing about not having the technology is that you don't have to be traumatized by horrific images. One of the 5 detectives, Fushichin, eagerly trotted like a child and arrived in front of the victim and peered into his pale face. Is he what? 45 or so years old? 47 years old. Juniper was one of the cops who arrived at the crime scene early and was assigned to watch the body. Well, it's not the worst age to die. After 50, a person's body gets old. They become ugly and cling to hoarded up money and relationships to survive. It's good that he died as a middle-aged man. May his death give room for the new generation to thrive. Shut the fuck up, Fushi bitch, oh yeah. Shut the fuck up, Fushi bitch. A person just died. And you're saying it's a good thing? Do you always have to say all this twisted shit? Yeah, Juniper was like, peace, I'm out. Fushi looked at Helen, who was with a mischievous smile. He poked his own white cheek with his thin finger. Good and bad, that's all just perceptions of the mind. Death is neither good nor bad. Life is not good nor bad. To be honest, I don't even know what is good and what is bad. I'm just like an innocent child, and children surely like to run their mouth. Forgive me, Helen-chan. Disgusting. Good grief, we're supposed to be a team, you know. Can't you people at least behave in front of the cops and the household members? Hey, I'm just being honest. I'm being truthful about my opinions and the things I want to say. You people try to cancel the sounds and noises you wish to not hear and use your manners, disciplines, and moralities to do so. Isn't that just cruel and unjust? We're not here to hear your rant about how we live in a society. Yeah, this game is so fucking mimetic. Like, yeah, this is the advantages of having a full control over the writing. I can do whatever the fucking hell I want. Like, offending people or being mimetic be damned. I'm just like doing whatever I feel like at the moment. You've been preaching about that type of bullshit ever since you joined the agency. Please resist speaking your mind and make this investigation a peaceful one. What is the victim's name? The time of death? His name is Tema Sushihara. According to our medical team, the victim died between 21 p.m. to 23 p.m. The cause of death is 2 stab wounds to the heart. No stranger or life-threatening substance was found in the victim's body. Again, a nice sound effect. Autopsy report has been added to the truth files. Yeah, and if you press it, you get the autopsy report, and you can read that. You can read what info you get. So yeah, even if you have a bad memory, you don't necessarily have to remember it. You can just reread over and over again. So yeah, no complaint if you get stuck or something like that, because you can reread. And yeah, you can potentially get stuck in here because this game just asks you a question, and if you don't answer it, you're gonna get stuck. Which is, you know, a difficulty curve. 2 stab wounds, eh? So it's not a suicide? Why will it be a suicide in the first place? Middle-age crisis. It happens to the best of us. Man, I'm trying to struggle to decide on what's the exact voice. Because, you know, I had a very small hint of idea in my head, but not that much. Or maybe it's the fact that our cops and investigators like to call things a suicide, simply because it's the easiest answer. Helen bit her lips and frowned at him with daggery eyes. Were there any fingerprints on the knife? Only Timo, the victim's fingerprints were on it. I'm gonna pull the murder weapon out. Selin put his briefcase on the ground and opened it. He grabbed 2 tight yellow gloves from it and wore it. He then approached the victim and pulled out the knife. It appears that it's a kitchen knife. Hey, who cooks food in the house? I'm assuming these rich folks have a servant or something. Call them. Juniper went out. And soon she brought 2 people to the room. Both were 30-year-old or so, man and woman. The man who had silky black hair. Yeah, there's a typo. Hair. The man who had a silky black hair greeted the detectives and elegantly by bowing and said, "Shoot Johnson." The maid the maid with long, luscious blue hair. Blue hair? Huh. That's a black hair. Yeah, the thing is that the sprites have been recently added, so I haven't been able to change certain writing descriptions. The maid with long, luscious blue hair followed the man, so you get instances like this. Example by bowing and said, "Yumiko Hatsuma." Celine showed him the bloodied knife. "Is that the murder weapon? Have you seen this knife before?" "The knife was certainly from our kitchen." "I'm so idiotic. I could have prevented this." "What do you mean?" "I'm terribly sorry. But you see, a few hours before Marin discovered the body, I found a knife to be missing from our kitchen set. In fact, a similar knife had disappeared around the middle of the day." Yeah, there were 2 knives, yeah. And sometimes reading this might actually help, solve the confusion you might have in regards to certain characters' wordings. "I see. You know, you need to give us your testimony and alibi as soon as possible. Before that, can we ask about who were inside the mansion during the day of the murder?" Of course. Tema Sushihara, the owner of the mansion and the victim. Maria Melodra Sushihara, Tema's wife. Suki Sushihara, Tema's eldest child. Yu Sushihara, Tema's eldest daughter. Yeah, I think I should have said son for Suki. Hori Sushihara, Tema's youngest daughter. Yumiko Hatsuma, female servant of the house who is standing next to me. I myself was here all day. Rainer Rockhart, bodyguard of the house. Jacques Don, Niall Nelson, Mihail Mill, and George Kim, who are Tema's friends and they were invited for dinner today. Joseph Kim, who is son of George and a friend to Suki. Yeah, you get the suspect list. While Jude was reporting, Clancy arrived in front of the glass door that leads to the balcony. He tried to open it, but it was locked. I think you need a master keycard, sir." "Master keycard? Where is it? What does it do? Uh, Tim and Marianne are the only people who with the master keycards. The master keycard can unlock any door in this mansion, except the research room and the guest bedroom, but almost any room can be opened by it, even the private rooms of the other household members. Cops have checked the pockets of Tema and found these. Juniper pointed at the table. On it was a plastic bag and inside were two items. There was a gray keycard with a picture of a crown on it, and a keychain with various keys were on it. Clancy wore yellow gloves from Selen's suitcase and pulled out the keycard with crown on it from the bag. Yep, what you're holding truly is the master keycard. You checked the keycard for fingerprints? Only the victim's fingerprints were on the keycard. Oh yeah, there's the sound. Clancy swiped the master keycard on the card swiper up the balcony, and the sound of something unlocking resounded. He pulled the door, and the breeze of the cold night came rushing into the room. Yet there is a slight wind sound effect. He closed it back. Victim's belongings has been added to the truth files. Is Marianne here? Yes. The voice came from the door. It was Marianne, the short black-haired lady they had previously met. I mean, in this instance, I kind of wanted Marianne to have a black hair. Mainly because of jeans, but I think blue hair, black... I mean, it kind of looks like black too. You possess the other master keycard, yes? Marianne nodded. Hey, I had a master keycard too! The words said by a long brown-haired girl who was standing next to the door. The name's Mew. Oh yeah? Well, Tim give a troublemaker such as you a master keycard. Show your master keycard to all these people, if you all may. Hey, I told you I lost it. But before the day of the murder, that gear did give me a master keycard, I swear. Marianne looked at Clancy and spoke. Aside from the master keycards, each member of the Tsushihara household has a personal keycard for their own room, and they can lock and unlock it. Okay, funny fact, the Tsushihara household, like, I'm going to ruin that name right now. You know, sushi is just, you know, a sushi, a fish, you know, a typical Japanese food. Hara in Japanese is just stomach, so fish stomach is the family name. Yeah, I like that name is so like whiplashy considering how serious this game was thus far. When I say household members, it includes Yumuke and Jude, but Reiner unfortunately doesn't have his own room. However, the master keycard can open and lock those rooms. And you have been keeping a good eye on your own keycard throughout the day of the murder? Yes, I have been occasionally checking my pocket to know it was in there. I didn't lose it, I'm sure of it. Yeah, it's cool info. Again, the soundtrack in the background has been really good. The soundtrack in the opening scene is named Black Fingerprint, made by Dylan Owen, and the soundtrack here you hear now is at least I don't know who exactly made it, but the copyright owner is my friend Via Fimsis or whatever, and they're the creator of the Zodiac Trial. It's a pretty darn awesome game. I also want to make a let's play of it, but unfortunately I haven't really started doing YouTube at that point. So yeah. Hey, more importantly, have you guys seen Hori, my sister? Yeah, it's true that we couldn't find her. The last time I met her was around 19 o'clock. After that, I couldn't find her. The policemen who came first have searched this mansion. We didn't find a young woman named Hori. God damn it! My father was murdered and my sister is missing. This is the shittiest day ever. Tears started to swell up in her eyes. Suddenly, a policeman named Joey jumped into the room with panic. Yeah, this is the advantage of third-person viewpoint, because like first person viewpoint is very limited in what information you can and can't give to the viewer. And this is like a lot of like mystery games I have seen, like Zodiac Trial, for instance, writes in first person, I think, and Ace Attorney is on first person. Danganronpa is also on first person. A lot of first person mystery visual novels. I decided to go with third person mainly because, like, the detectives and the characters here are very smart. So having their inner monologue might spoil something. I also wanted to decide what information to give and what information to not give to the audience more freely, so I had to use third person. Clancy, sir, we found this. He brought out a plastic bag with a knife inside it. We just found this recently. It was behind the library bookcase. The knife is clean. The knife is clean. Yet it does look identical to the murder weapon, doesn't it? You said two knives went missing. Is this one of them? Why, yes. That's one of the knives we have in the kitchen. Check it for fingerprints. In the meantime, could you all help the investigation team by drawing a map of the mansion? Would be nice if you detail anything unique about the rooms if there is one. They were given an A3 piece of paper by Clancy. Marion quickly searched her drawer, brought out pencils, and she, along with Yumiko and Mew, got into work. Meanwhile, I'll get a pretty good look at the Boo-Boo Tin Man. Saying that, Fushigin hopped over to the victim and peered at him at a distance, where people could mistake him for having an affair with the victim. Yeah, you can like, you can definitely see my sassy writing style there. Hey, careful! What if we destroy evidence? Interesting. Look, the collar of his shirt is ripped at the backside, and his clothes do look wrinkly, don't you think? Galtrumer rushed towards them and, after examining for a bit, yeah, you're right. There was a struggle. Good job, Fushi. I'm glad you're philosophizing less and putting your mind to it. I don't philosophize. You need to fill your head with thoughts to philosophize. I don't do that. I simply see. Well, I try to at least. State of the victim has been added to the true files. Soon Marianne and Yumiko and Mew finish with their paintings. This is the floor map. It shows the outside of the mansion as well. Yeah, you can see that Marianne, Mew, Yumiko, despite their teamwork, their drawings are not really great. But you know, it does the job. It does the job. The blue lines indicate the doors. The red lines indicate the stairs. And one information to like, I think I probably should mention this. I think like really seriously that guys should probably know is that there is a window there. I mean, it might come up. It's going to come up way in the future. Maybe it might not. I mean, I might be trolling you, but yeah, this picture doesn't show it. There, I mean, in general, there are like windows there unless there are like. There has to be some windows in the kitchen, otherwise it'll be pitch black dark. There has to be some windows in the office, obviously. Wow, the mansion really is huge. F1 map and F2 map has been added to true file. Below the painting was the following was written. Room descriptions: Yumiko's, Jude's, Haru's, Mew's. Suki's guest rooms have a single windows in each one of them. And none of them were broken. Yeah, single windows. Yeah, again, there's a mentioning. The windows have a small part that can be opened, but it's not enough for a person to fit. A person's head can barely fit through it. The dark room has no windows and no lighting. There are toys and old magazines in the room, and a mattress in case someone wants to sleep there. The basketball court is surrounded by 5-meter walls from the outside, and there is a face detector that logs who was inside the basketball court and when. The tennis court is connected to the basketball court. It's surrounded by 3-meter walls from outside. Yeah, a lot of information is being dumped to you right now, and it's information that may or may not come up. Like that's the thing about like mystery stories. A lot of red herrings or a lot of information that may or may not be useful is crammed into the viewers. The good and bad aspect of the mystery stories. You need to go through the basketball corner to enter the and exit the tennis court. Lots of carton boxes was ordered for gym clothes or tennis court. Blah blah blah. Those are usually the small room. Blah blah blah. These tools were still in place when Marian Jr., Yumiko II, and the mysteries came to check it. Yeah. A lot of true files have been added. Yeah. This is gonna get stacked real fast. Why have face detectors inside the basketball court? Because that probably will be a good idea to count the amount of time our family members are spending inside the basketball court and the tennis court. The more you spend, the better and healthier, he said. And you don't need to voluntarily scan your face. Yeah, this game doesn't really delve into a backstory or something. Like just throws you into the story. But I kind of like those types of story, which is why I'm starting it here. And you don't need to voluntarily scan your face. The sensors placed on all four walls of the court will just scan your face and will detect when you entered there and how much you spend time there, and will save a data of it. And where does the data get sent to? And where can we check it out? Inside the office, we also have footage for the camera of the garage, record of the room unlock and lock door. Record of the room unlock and lock is there as well. Yeah, some typos are here and there, which is why I need to go over things again. Alright, that sounds promising. Let's go to the theater, Miss Marianne. Fushigin grabbed Marianne's hand and pulled her out of the room. Go to Slim, choose one household member. We're going to start questioning their alibis. And call everyone else who was in the mansion during the day of the murder. Roger that. The detectives went out of the room with the suspects and told the others about the plan. While Fushigin was at the office with Marianne. They both watched the security footage of the garage. The footage showed 11:55 a.m. Joseph's car entered the garage. When George and Joseph were exiting their cars, Jack's car entered the garage. Jack got out of his car, greeted Joseph, but quickly went away. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think it's obvious, but when something says 12 p.m., it doesn't mean that everything in this juncture happened exactly at 12 p.m. It just means that everything that happened starting from 12 p.m. and until, for example, to be fair, in this garage footage, exact timing has certain things have been notified. Like I said, the next, for example, next thing name is 12:20 p.m. So what basically you should understand from this, it starts as at 12 p.m. Then the next line of dialogue is 12:20 p.m. So these events, such as there was a bunch of greetings and house car, blah blah blah, all of this happened in the duration of 20 minutes. The exact timing is a little wishy-washy. The characters probably should and probably know. You as a viewer is kind of on a wishy-washy spot. Yeah, I kind of want to make a tutorial of how this timing exactly works. And also, yeah, Jude returned with Mew. Now showed a giant rabbit figure from the house car. Suki Rhino carried the figure and went away. Mew Jude also disappeared from the cam. Rhino returned and slept in the bed that was placed in the garage. Rhino opened his eyes and started moving. He went away. George entered the garage and pulled out the trolley. Yeah, it's 19 p.m. Yeah, this is still also the timeline, the time system they use in this universe, because this universe isn't exactly our Earth. This isn't a non-fiction or straight up reality. The reality of the story is very similar to our world, but it's meshed up, the certain names and certain terminologies are different. The time zone terminologies are different because let's be honest, I fucking hate the AM PM structure, mainly because when you go to something like 1200 PM or 000, you kind of like start mistaking things, which is why, this universe has its own system, which is why they use the 24-hour system, but they also use PM and AM just for the heck of it, because it's fun and I can do whatever I want. This is my story. So George entered the garage and pulled out a trolley with a roll-up wash sheet on it from the cargo section of the house. Near the support from Rio, Joseph and General Reiner entered the garage and put a giant carton box inside the trunk of Joseph's car. Turned to 11:10 p.m. Joseph entered his car and drove off. Michal entered the garage. Jack sat in his own car and went away. George put the trolley sheet on it under Michal's car, and they went away. Wow, poor Reiner. He doesn't have his own room, and he sleeps inside the garage. Well, we don't have a guest bedroom. He occasionally sleeps there, but Joseph did occupy that room the day before the murder. Oh, Joseph was here before the day of the murder. I see. Garage footage. Yeah, a lot of information. So cool. And close. Remember to find the close buttons, because sometimes they're a bit hidden. How about the other footage, or record I call it, the basketball record? Ah, yes, of course. Marianne opened the computer. She typed on it for a minute. Here it is. And yeah, it's just timing. This information on its own is probably not that helpful until you get really deep into the story. The mysteries in this game is quite difficult. Difficulty in mystery games is kind of a strange topic, because there were moments where Danganronpa and Ace Attorney were pretty difficult too, but I think this game is a bit more difficult than that, definitely. This game sometimes feels decently easy, or decently normal difficulty, but there are instances where it gets hard. It gets so hard. I definitely think it's a lot harder than the general the average Ace Attorney or the average Danganronpa case. I'll take a picture of that. And if you're wondering, this game is going to be free. Yeah, I am interested in putting it on Steam, but I am legitimately thinking about making a free version and a Steam version, but the free and the Steam version are exactly the same, or at the very least the Steam version has I don't know, some hidden detail, or I don't know, maybe something like that. But generally, I just want my stuff to be free. I want to spread my meme all across the world. And generally, I am really interested in making a sequel to this game. So if you are interested in this game's production, and after when I post this game gets exported, and you've played the game and love it so much, you can support me on my Patreon, which I probably will post in the About section. And you can definitely help me out there, okay? Because, this does take a lot of time to make. This game's cost us pure $0. I used royalty-free music, I used Renpai, which is free, I used a lot of Google images and free stock images, and these sprites were made in Artbreed and Wi-Fi Lab. So that being said, it still takes so much time for me to program and write. I basically made this game for about 5 months, maybe even longer than that. I think the actual production of this story is a full year. Basically, the story started off as a Discord murder mystery game where I created a bunch of character alibis and a bunch of truth files and posted it on Discord channels, and people need to read those information and interact with me while I control all the suspects and characters, while the players were role playing as the detectives. So there's that really fun game I had. I think that was one of the most interesting experiences of my life. And creating this game is also has been a very interesting experience. This game is so fun to make. Like I think legitimately that coding is really fun, and Renpai is really fun to write and code in. So yeah, on to the story. What about the lock and unlock records of the rooms? Sure, Drucker only keeps track of electronic locks, not every door in the dimension. I understand that. What's the time you are most interested in to get a display of? The day of the murder, starting from 9 a.m. Okay. Marianne tapped a few keys and displayed the following. Yeah, this information is like not might be like not like on its own it might not be that interesting. Like look at this. This gets unlocked, this gets locked, this gets locked. Yeah, like Danganronpa Ace Attorney, even Detective Conan doesn't like make you do this. I kind of like try to make this game semi-realistic, so you get a lot of information dumped to you. And I also like this is also my unique aspect of my writing style. I'll just dump you a lot of information, and you as the player has to like read into and like decide what's important and what's not important. Yeah, like I'll take a good picture of that and done. Room unlock and log records have been added to the true files, so you don't even have to like remember that. Yeah, you just get here, of course. Starting from the morning until you find the body and police came. There was a music change there. Like the previous music that if you were listening to is the title music, Art of Silence. And this is this music is made by Russ Bookton. Its name is Upbeat Jazz. Russ Bookton is such a nice guy. Basically, the most amount of music I used was from the Zodiac Trial, which I am friends with the creator, and he allowed me to use their music. And Russ Bookton is just a really cool guy who makes amazing music, which is royalty free. And I also like made a video in my gaming channel. Seriously, you guys should check out my gaming channel where I like uploaded the entire soundtrack for the Lost for Truth in this game. This game Lost for Truth and all the music I used in this game. So yeah, you should definitely check that out. Yeah, and Marianne's starting from all the way to all the things, you know. So yeah, there's some like information that's not very helpful, but a lot of this information are going to be helpful. But you know, sometimes there are some repeat information, mainly because you know every character is being like interrogated, you know, privately. When there's a spaghetti ice at Temu's, yeah, Temu's like doing fucking fasting. Then I left. Library, entered the library. Went to the dining hall and asked him to come with me. She followed me. We chatted for a while and separated. I went to the kitchen to relax there a bit. I went out and walked back at the back of the mansion, yeah. Entered the kitchen. A little after, Jude and the Yumuka entered the kitchen. Yumuka started searching for the family because she gave the ones she found to Jude washing them in the sink. Make sure to examine and make sure he was brushing them right. Yumuka claimed blah blah blah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not blabbering too much. I mean, the players who are playing this probably might say yeah, but this is kind of might be some. You will like it. The more the story progresses, you will say, "Holy fuck!" If some of these characters have been detailed, they will be fucked. No, I like your style. You're doing a great job, lady. Keep it detailed, especially about the things you found odd. After we arrived, everyone started eating their spaghetti except Tema. There's something strange about Tema. His clothes were wrinkled, and I believe his shirt collar was ripped at the back of the side. Joseph ate nothing and only looked at us and talked. Oh, his clothes were wrinkled, you say? Yes, almost as if he rolled on the ground or something. I see, and his collar was ripped. I noticed that too upon seeing Tema's body, and I thought it was caused by the struggle between the culprit and the victim. But I guess that was wrong. Please continue. Suki also didn't want to eat the spaghetti, but I scolded him into eating the food. That brought lives to imitate others, shaking my head. Some people used the ketchup in their spaghetti while some didn't. However, everyone drank tea except Mihal, who preferred to not drink tea at all. Everyone finished the food and started laughing and talking about various subjects. Jude and Yumiko took all the plates. After a while, I decided to visit the kitchen. I entered the kitchen and personally thanked Yumiko and Jude for the meal, then left. At 3 a.m., I went to the second floor and arrived at the family room. I was sitting on one of the chairs in the family room when Hori entered from the large hall into the room. She and I exchanged some eye contact until Hori decided to enter her room and shut the door. She had locked the door. I decided to get some fresh air, so I went downstairs. Once the main hall, I encountered Reiner. We both exited the room. I chatted with Reiner for a while. What did you chat about? About Reiner's life, about the security of the mansion, and some other nonsense. Nothing that's related to the case. I'll be the judge of that, but go on. Oh, and Reiner were chatting at 20 p.m. Jesse came to us from outside the mansion, greeted us, and entered the mansion through the front door. I was bored, so I left Reiner and decided to enter the basketball field and play basketball for a while. Movement is health, after all. 23 p.m. I left the basketball court. When I started walking towards the door of the mansion, I saw Jude sitting on the ground gazing at the stars. I gazed into the main hall through the window to see Jack Mahal. If you guys found this information boring, you can just bam, 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 do this, because it's going to get added to the alibis. If it didn't get added to the alibis, you'll be kind of fucked by the difficulty of the game, but I'm back into the main hall to encounter Sugi, Miu, Reiner there. I lied at them about how I found Tema's body. I yelled at them about how I found Tema's dead on his bed with a knife on his chest. Reiner told me to quickly call the police. I pulled up my phone and did just that. Afterwards, we started running around every room and finding anyone we could to alert them about Tema's death. During this search, I found that Hori was not in her room, and furthermore, we couldn't even find her no matter how much we searched her in the mansion. Yeah, she's missing. Hori. Yeah, her alibi got added. You can scroll it down. Which is cool. It's so cool. So Hori's missing since 19. There's something worth noting in regards to Hori disappearing, specifically concerning the door unlock and lock record. What are you talking about? If you look at the door lock record, see, this is just a starting point. I didn't want to creep out the players with the difficulty of the game. So, first of all, you just get 3 choices, like the first difficulty question. And you can brute force this. For example, this is the wrong answer. Yumiko's room door was unlocked during the fight. Okay, but how does that relate to Hori's disappearance? Yeah, it's kind of random, isn't it? And this is also a wrong question. Wrong answer. Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure you misread the log. Oh shit, you're right. Never mind what I said. Yeah, I think it's contradicts the room unlock and lock record. So yeah, Maria said literally Hori opened her door at 19. So, and I think the log also showed Hori's room door wasn't unlocked from 19 to 00. See, nobody unlocked Hori's door from 1920 to 0020. You said you saw Hori entering her own room at 19, so the lock and unlock at 1920 was probably caused by Hori. Yeah, you're right. But how did Hori exit the room? Or how was Hori taken out of the room? You have to exit through the door in order to be missing. You checked her room fully when you entered it after 23 p.m., right? I did, yes. Okay, if you didn't, it's possible she waited for you to enter her room and then exited, and then escape afterwards. I said I searched her room. Well, even if I didn't, Reiner, Jude, and others were running around the mansion. They should have seen her. Is it possible to escape through Hori's room window? No, I don't think that's possible because yeah, I think the dialogue textbook is slightly covering this age, but you can still able to click on every single evidence you want to click. And this is the first a bit of a choose the evidence type of challenge that you have to pull out. I think I'll end the video here. You guys should probably know the answer. if you guys really think about it, if you guys were paying attention. But yeah, so yeah, this is the how the games work. My gosh, I just really want to like play this game. Like I wrote this story, I read this over and over again, but it's so like detective stories are so nice and comfy, like in my opinion. Like I mean, they're comfy in the sense that oh, you do little like solve puzzle. Like ever since I was a kid, I just really loved like playing those Y8 puzzle games on Y8, those escape room puzzles. And even since I was a kid, I also like playing mystery games too, like Zero Escape series, Danganronpa, Ace Attorney. I fucking love Ace Attorney, man. Holy shit, gameplay and pointing out lies is so fucking great. And yeah, you do get to point out a lot of lies in this game, which is why, you know, you have this much information about the Albus. Shit, I think I broke the game. Yeah. Yeah, the thing about Renpai is that if you like scroll your mouse, you can like go forward and backward. But I don't think you can like force out the answers. You have to like do this. Yeah, you can't like force out the answers with scrolling your mouse. Otherwise, it'll be kind of problematic. So yeah, I think this is the trial version. I guess the first hour or so gameplay of Lost for Truth. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll help the production of this game by helping on Patreon, or you can just go to my gaming channel and see the video I posted there about the music, and you know, support those music creators. And I will also probably be posting gameplay footage of this game in my gaming channel. And I mean, I myself will not be playing alone. I think someone playing blind and someone to play with is just so entertaining, which is why I'll probably make a gameplay video with a guest, and that guest will probably end up playing the game. That's about it. See you all next time. And I hope my next upload isn't going to be this late.